5 Questions with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with LeRoy Butler in a live setting.
Yeah,
we are here at the new digs of Milwaukee Journal Sentinel,
This is
Packers
pretty neat.
News, and it was quite a weekend. I think
Yeah.
Jacksonville missed you. You should have been down there for your hometown.
It was a bad weekend. Florida State loses to Jacksonville State. So
They could have used you in uniform, I think.
No, they could have used Deion Sanders as well. It just seemed like, but I'm thinking though, Tom, the Saints, I got to give them a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Because these guys have been in Dallas, they've been displaced, haven't been back to New Orleans in a while. You got the hurricane going on. I mean, flooding, and now it's another storm coming through. It's a lot of anxiety going with that particular team. But they put all that aside and came up with a great game plan on both sides of the ball. So you have to give them a lot of credit. But you were also thinking that you would have Drew Brees. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and now you got Jameis Winston, and everybody kept saying this guy throws a lot of picks. But I also reminded people he throws a lot of touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
He had 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. So he's a volatile passer. But the thing about it, before we get into it, Tom, to him, he's played down there before because he's played with Florida State, number 1 overall
And
pick.
Tampa.
And in Tampa. So he had nothing to lose. And without Michael Thomas, top wide receiver, it just seemed like that you almost had to look at this game on paper. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback against Jameis Winston, and you got all these things going on mentally for the Saints, but you also have mentally stuff going on with the Packers as well. Aaron Rodgers, obviously the offseason stuff, and Zadarius Smith not being a captain, that can bother people. So to put all that aside, though, it just seemed like I was very disappointed. I think the coach used, who I'm a big fan of, embarrassing, because this is something that I don't think anybody saw. I mean, did you see it would be like this?
38-3. No, I picked the Packers to win just like you did, and I based it on talent.
Yes,
and I based
exactly.
it on the fact that these guys have been to the NFC Championship game in back-to-back years. They brought everybody back.
Yep.
They're completely healthy. I don't get it. It's a head scratcher to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we have a lot of things we need to break down,
Sure.
and we will in X's and O's too. But I don't know. The Saints obviously, bonded really well together being in Dallas. This was not. They're used to this kind of thing, and it's tough. It's got to be tough on their families, but they used it in some way to come out and play like lights out.
Yeah.
And Sean Payton is a phenomenal offensive coach. Just did a great job. But from the Packers standpoint, I don't get how you can be so flat, how you can be so non-creative, not be able to change the momentum of the game at all. Isn't that what kind? Am I wrong? Shouldn't they have been able to change the momentum somewhere there?
It's a lot of that because the time of possession. The Saints had 2 15-play drives. That ate up a lot of the clock. And once the offense go 3 and out, you're behind now because your defense Tom, it may look worse from last year. It's just a lot
It did look worse than last year.
It just looks like a lot of moving parts, almost like you're learning a defense all over. And I thought they were going to take the defense they've been playing the last few years and just kind of move a few things around with Joe Barry. But he has to be frustrated because some stuff, I know the fans can just blame the coach, but sometimes the players have to play better in circumstances, especially, and we'll point that out later. But the last thing about it's 100 degrees on the field for everybody.
Yeah.
So
heat was not a factor.
No, not at all.
I don't think so either.
And another thing that's a narrative, preseason.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Listen,
You address that.
If I were the coach, my starters ain't playing in preseason. I'm just that way. To me, they added a 17th game, fine, 3 preseason games. that was for Jordan Love and some of the other guys that are probably not in the building. Aaron Rodgers didn't play preseason last year, and he was the MVP. That's just an excuse to me. You're giving teams an excuse to say, well, they were rusty. No, you're not rusty if you're a veteran. You know everything about this offense and this defense. It's not like a new coach came in, he ripped up the playbook. You got the same playbook. Now, if you're in OTAs, if you missed that, it's the same thing. So when I played, I think in '96 when we won the Super Bowl, I don't think we won a preseason game.
But you guys did play. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because I'm starting to change my mind. Defensively, offensively, I don't think they needed to play their starters in the preseason. But defensively, you're playing a new scheme. Yeah, nobody's scheming against you in the preseason, but it's nice to work things out, be able to work things out live, as opposed to practice. I don't know.
I want to make sure when I hit the first game, now you can get hurt in practice too, just like the Ravens had a couple of guys get hurt in practice. I mean, you can always get hurt. But to me, I know about the Lindy Infante days that we were hard, banging, twice a day, wearing your guys down, you get in the game. I mean, it doesn't make you any more physical. But when Mike Holmgren came in, we had those shorts, we were fresh. We played, I think, the first and third preseason game, a couple plays and get you out. And then we weren't even playing at all. Next thing you know, that first game we were fresh. But I'm with LaFleur. I think 30-some guys didn't play. I would, if they had to do it over again, I still would not, because I need to know how good these backups are going to be.
Okay.
If my starters are playing, that's really taking plays away from those guys.
Maybe, okay, so the argument could be that you sacrificed the opener for the long run picture of
no, we ain't sacrificing no opener.
It's possible.
You media guys come up with all kinds of stuff.
I don't know, but
I know what you're saying.
I do want to address how poorly they look defensively, which to me is, your first time out. This isn't like I'm trying to think of when Ray Rhodes took over.
Oh, right.
And he's
that's a good
picking
point.
up a defense that was terrible the year before. Well, it wasn't terrible, but they
I know
weren't
what you mean.
great. I mean, Hank Bulla had done a pretty good job at the defense. But anyway, so then that year, you guys are pretty good in '92. He takes it over. You take his identity. I looked it up. That first game, you gave up more, I think it was more yards, but you had like three turnovers or 4 turnovers in that first game
difference
against Minnesota, and it went to overtime. This is like the worst first game performance of a defensive coordinator, that Packers defensive coordinator, dating all the way back to the Lombardi era. I went back and looked at all the stats. No turnovers.
No.
5 of 7 on 3rd and 4th down. 170 yards rushing.
Oof.
It's just, I don't get
And they were 4 for 4 in the red zone.
And this is a team that was ranked number 9 last year and didn't lose anybody. How does that happen?
Yeah, see, that's the thing about it. You don't have a lot of, most of the players are back.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a few changes here with Campbell, and, Stokes will be sprinkled in there, but Chandon Sullivan, Amos, Savage, King, Alexander, those are your normal guys. The Smith brothers, Dean Lowry. These are veterans that I would just, and I'm sure they are too, looking at the film, thinking, and they really held Kamara in check. He had 20 carries, 83 yards, and had 1 or 2 passes. Scored once. He didn't get out of control like last time.
But the cumulative of that running game wore them down. They
it really
get
did.
off
The other
field.
kid, Junior,
Tony Jones.
Yeah, and so, but again, first down. They was 1 for 10 on 3rd down.
Now you're talking offense?
Yes, it kind of goes, because in other words, when we were having a bad day on defense, Brett would come over and say, I got you. Because y'all ain't on y'all game.
Right.
Sometimes they're not on their game. Don't worry about it. We're going to stop them.
Right.
But neither side helped the other side.
No.
3 and outs, punting, and
Special teams was maybe okay, but otherwise, it was weird. And then offensively, so this was interesting. I remember during the week talking to Nathaniel Hackett, and he had said, in that game last year, Dennis Allen blitzed them way more than they had blitzed anybody before, the Saints.
Yep.
And they hadn't expected it, but it ended up great. They ended up burning
scoring a lot
for
of points.
A ton of points and yards. So this time, I remember asking Hackett, so do you have to prepare for them to do that again, or do you think, okay, they're going to switch it up, And he's like, you got to prepare for both. If they blitz, you're ready for it. If they don't blitz, you're ready for that. Well, they were not ready for them not to blitz.
No.
Because they played like a soft two-shell, meaning both safeties back, and then doubled Devontae Adams and pretty much just shut that passing game down.
Everybody's going to do it. Everybody's going to do it from now on. They're going to take this tape. The first interception, they put Cam Jordan, a grown man.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan over top Royce Newman, the rookie. Ran right past him.
Yeah.
He's at Aaron's feet. Aaron tries to force it, interception to a rookie. Then the next interception was a little surprising to me because Aaron has seen this coverage before, but if your pre-snap alignment, that safety is 25 yards deep, 25 yards deep. So you're thinking that if Devontae could run a shake route, run right at the safety and pull him over, he'll vacate the middle. Now you can hit MVS on the 8 route.
Right, that's what he thought.
Yeah, the guy said, I ain't doing that because my corner kept his leverage and stayed outside.
Right.
Now, I will say this, if Devontae goes up in the middle and stops, now that safety has to make a decision. But by the time he's making a decision, MVS is on top of him.
And Rodgers kind of thought Adams might sit down there.
He ran his route, but I think moving forward, they're going to tell Devontae, if that guy's on your outside leverage, you can just take it up right in front of safety and just stop. Right. We're trying to move him out that middle.
And then if he doesn't move, he throws it to Devontae.
You throw it to Devontae, he's wide open.
Right.
Because the guy got outside leverage. That's a progression of it. But I think Rodgers already had it in his mind that it's going to be open.
Yeah.
And you look at the clock, we're down, 17 or 21 to 3 or whatever the score was. I'm going for it right here. Or you could tell MVS just keep a straight line. Don't even come in there. A straight line, I'll throw a 9 route, and I'll just throw it, you just run under it.
Yeah.
That could have worked. But
I thought that in the second half they were going to have to come out and just dink and dunk, and because that's all New Orleans was giving them. They were going to sit those safeties back, and they should have been able to run the ball against that.
Yeah, well, they gave up on the run.
Group.
Yeah, they gave up on the run.
And New Orleans, let's face it, their defensive line, I think they won the battle of the trenches. I don't think their pass rush was overwhelming. I thought the pass protection was good enough. There were, like you said, Cam Jordan, caused that interception. But in the run game, it was terrible. They couldn't get anything going except A.J. Dillon.
Well, the first play, Aaron Jones gets, he loses a couple yards, trying to
made a bad
break
decision.
Because after a while, we can't keep saying Bakhtiari is not playing. We know that. He's going to be out 6 weeks. Yeah. Jenkins actually played pretty well. But I think that, you remember, go back to last year when they played Indianapolis, they stuck with the run. Indianapolis did. They got down. The Packers were winning by 10 or 15 points or whatever. They stuck with the run. That got them back into it. If people want to play that soft two-shell, you got to just run the football. That'll bring those safeties up once Aaron Jones start to hit it, or A.J. Dillon. But when you say you're just going to throw it, we'll play 2-man. Now the Packers got to get to more screens, more draws, more jet sweeps. That'll bring them out of that. And they got to go more man-to-man stuff. A lot of misdirection stuff. And Randall Cobb didn't catch a pass until the fourth quarter with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So they'll go back, and that's why if you look at LaFleur's face, he was frustrated.
Yeah. And
he was frustrated.
You know what that game reminded me of? It's a very different situation, but it reminded me of 92, Mike Holmgren's first game in Tampa, when you guys just got your butts, what it was like 31-3 or something.
Yeah, something. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah.
But also, at the end of that game, he took out Mikowski and put in Brett.
Yeah.
And, that was when Brett threw the first pass that he caught himself.
Yep.
But, that happened with Jordan Love. So he came in. Jordan Love looked pretty decent. I'm not saying this is,
No, he's the backup.
take Aaron Rodgers out of, out of the starting spot. But that was a valuable series for
it's good.
couple series for Jordan
It's good
Love.
experience. Now, you want to be up and get him in.
Yeah.
But,
But this way, they at least were trying to move the ball, and he's got to. We're switching to Jordan Love a little bit.
No, that's okay.
But he's got to not make those big mistakes.
Yeah.
He looks good, and then boom, he fumbles in the pocket.
Well, he got to get his clock together, and that's
Yeah.
experience. The clock said, you know what? I've been holding on to it for a while. Sooner or later, they're going to make a secondary move and get me.
Yeah.
So I got to either take off or throw it away.
Right.
And I think that's what happened to Aaron's, his sack. He held on to it, thinking I can probably hold it. Nope. And he got sacked, and it was a big loss.
Yeah.
So those are kind of things I know people, and and I'm not going to just dismiss it though when people say about preseason, because you can work out some of that stuff in preseason. I don't want any daylight between what I think, and I think sitting the veterans out of preseason, that's the way I would go. Okay. But I'm not going to yell at a guy like you if you say, hey, no, maybe they should have played. But I think it gives them an excuse because this team scored 31 points a game last year, number one in the league.
Yeah.
Out of over Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, all these. So to just score 3 is very disappointing, especially.
Got a lot of catching up to do to get back
there.
there.
And I have confidence they'll do it. But hey, Detroit. Before I even get into prediction, Detroit plays them very tough, and
Yes.
they were down big and they came back.
They kind of picked up steam, which is what you kept waiting
there
to
you
see
go.
from
Yeah.
Green Bay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're going to lose, but let's see you make a game
Yeah.
of it, and that never happened.
And the tight end position, real quick, defending the tight end, hopefully it's not an issue this year because T.J. Hawkinson is going to get 15 targets this week against the Packers. So, and Jared Goff, they played him before, but it just seemed like the team, it may be too early for like a players only meeting, but they got to get on the same page team wise, because I think it was a lot of, and I guess I had the same thing. Remember we went to 2 Super Bowls, and I'm thinking that we're unbeatable. I'm thinking this is our opportunity. And a lot went into that. So
let's pick 2.
it could be a wake-up call.
Let's pick 2, just so our viewers aren't too depressed. Pick 2 things that you liked, that you saw in the game that you liked.
Yeah, now one thing I'm glad, man, that's why I love you. It was a pass that Aaron Rodgers threw. It was a corner route to Devontae Adams. Only one person in the world could make that throw as Aaron Rodgers.
And that catch. That catch was phenomenal.
The catch, it has to be a catch of the year. Devontae Adams caught this ball through a defender going away.
Yeah,
and
down
falling.
near the ground. Yeah,
I'm thinking that's the play.
Yeah.
That's going to spark them.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that. I was also excited Mason Crosby under 50 yards or something, 31 straight or whatever. The guy's been automatic. So, but defensively, they were very, very close. So I want to tell the fans, you got Kiki and 97. And you got 52.
I don't see where they were close.
What I see,
okay,
you don't
go
see.
Ahead, go
you
ahead.
asked me
Yeah,
now. You asked me.
I know.
I'll have Bill edit you out this.
I got to put out my
No,
what meter here.
No, really.
You got the Packer glasses on here.
And that's fine. But, Tom, they got some packages that I like. You got 96, 97 on the inside.
Who cares if
I
you
understand.
can't cover anybody?
I'm just saying, when they get like 7 sacks in a game, we're going to refer to this tape.
Okay.
They got a front 4 and a nice package with Rashawn Gary and the Smith brothers that's going to be, there's no way people can stop it. But you got to get ahead, though.
Okay.
Because this is almost like a NASCAR type deal. When I saw that, I got excited. But you can't run it because teams will just run the ball because they're up 21 points. So those are some positive I want the fans to look forward to. They're going to get a lot of sacks this year, that front 4
Okay,
or 5.
I'll add my one and
You only
add
got
a
one?
question to it. Yeah,
Okay.
which was rookie Eric Stokes looked like he belonged. Like he made
gotta see more
really
of him,
nice.
though.
Yeah, we need to see
Would
more.
you just put him in there over King? Because
That's what I was just going to ask you. Is it
That's a good
how
way to
soon
close
before
this.
they just put him in for Kevin King? That play down the sideline, I thought that was the safety's fault, but you have schooled me that that's on Kevin King.
it looked like they were playing quarters. It don't matter. The last thing you remember from King was Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
So if I'm reading they give you this literature to say who's fast, who's not.
Yeah,
There's number 11.
yeah,
He's a speed guy.
Yeah.
He's going deep. And he just run right past you. Say if he was covered two. Get up there and jam him so he won't be unblocked.
yeah.
But for a guy to split two people,
He was in motion a little bit. He did a little bit of motion
that makes it
to
worse.
the inside and then went up.
It makes
Yeah.
it worse. You cover the deepest guy. So if Stokes, to your point, if you like him, at some point you just got to make a change.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you have to. I mean,
And we might see that.
that was a little embarrassing to me because all off season, y'all asked King about it,
Right.
that last play. So you're thinking in your head, look at your film study, look at your work, know who's the fast guy, know through formations. Because when you see X's and O's, it was a head scratcher. They ran a basic play, got a touchdown from it. It's almost as if, you don't believe what you see.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know when they'll do.
So we'll
Stokes out.
see. Yeah, that's something to keep our eyes on. So anyway, we need to stop ranting and move on.
Well, I gotta make a
you have to
prediction.
make a prediction, and
Yes.
then you have some people you'd like to thank. So let's
Yeah.
go with the prediction first.
The prediction, listen, Detroit plays them tough. Campbell's a new coach. He's a little gimmicky. I mean, Jared Goff, they played him before. Swift is pretty good. Jamal Williams, who had a pretty good game, he's going to be coming back. T.J.
Hawkinson.
Hawkinson is a problem. I think the Packers will win 38-21 on Monday night. Because,
A
I'm
lot of
glad it's on
points.
Monday night.
Okay.
I'm glad it's on Monday night because America needs to see that what happened with the Saints isn't the Packers.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm excited that the Packers will get their first win. And I think for the most part, real quick, it's a game that you probably will see some new faces and some new positions.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's okay. But I want to thank Leap Vodka for being a sponsor. Of course, Pick and Save, you can pick that up anywhere they sell alcohol. Just ask for Leap Vodka, or you can go to leapspirits.com for more information and find out where I'll be doing bottle signings at your local Pick and Save, your neighborhood grocer. So
Beautiful. And don't forget to check in with X's and O's, our first live X's and O's since more than a
Long
year and a
time.
half ago.
Yeah.
So be sure you tune into that. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you after the Detroit game.
bye.